Shit. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Sideline Summit. I'm Antonio Perez, joined as always by Danny Cole, DC, UPenn's finest, Chris Culture, CB, Culture Boy. We got another great episode for you guys today. Week 1 in the NFL, officially in the books. We're breaking down some overreactions that we saw online or whatever the case may be. And then we have some not overreactions from ourselves. At least we're hoping they're not overreactions and everything sticks. But it'll make a lot more sense once we start them. You'll kind of get the idea of that we're going for. But of course, before we get into the episode, I'll remind you, leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new and you're listening to this on audio platforms. Leave a like, 5-star review, download the episode if you really enjoyed it. With that being said, you just kick it right on over to Danny to start Summit's Plummets.
Yeah, my summit of the week is that the Philadelphia Phillies somehow have figured out to get out of their slump. They are officially 8 games, magic number to make the playoffs. So that's really impressive. They started off with one of the highest teams. They had a kind of very, very cool middle of the year, and now they've become like with the best record in baseball. So Philly sports are up. The Sixers are a team to look forward to in the next 2 months. Whether you like it or not, they're going to be an improvement of what they were the last couple of years.
Right.
Whether you like it or not, this is the best Sixers team.
They won't.
This is the best Sixers team we've seen.
They won't. No, they're not actually.
Yeah,
the Jimmy Butler Celtics was the best Celtics team you got yet, or Sixers team you had yet.
I said last 3 years. Jimmy Butler was 5 years ago. That's to buy Joel Embiid.
Is this the Embiid year or era or what?
Joel Embiid was 24 when that
Jason Tatum took his team to the finals when he was 24.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that was a long time ago.
So you're saying the best Sixers team we've seen? Like, what are we like? In just the past couple years?
I said last 3 years. We
I don't know. One of those teams pushed Celtics to 7. I think that team was pretty good.
So, anyway,
he got kicked the audio only for that bogus ass take. That's what he gets.
That's not a bogus take at all. I don't know what happened, but
look, the StreamYard is on my side.
Yeah, you have devil magic on your side, dude. But
I don't have devil magic on my side. My basketball team's just good, and it gives me extra motives to make good takes.
But yeah,
that's why Chris's basketball takes are great, because he follows the greatest player to ever walk the earth. He gives him special powers.
Philadelphia sports are back, and that's what I care about.
The Flyers are not back.
They're so back. We're
so back, baby.
Hitting batting practice of the Phillies tonight. Not one of them look like they have an athletic bone in their body, but damn, can they shoot a hockey puck? So that's certainly one thing. And Plummet, I'm gonna say traffic has been awful. I don't know if it's just because the madness after this debate, but you actually said the opposite last night. But traffic this morning and traffic this afternoon, goddamn awful. So I'm not a fan of traffic. I think it's stupid. Even I was coming home, I ran out to the store, picked something up, and someone was going 25 in a 45. Like, dog.
That's probably me.
Go up.
Well, first of all, you come home during the worst time ever. Second, and there was a Phillies game. Phillies are back in town. Always gotta consider that.
That's true, but I was way past that before that.
No, and this morning, I just know I dodged traffic personally. Probably because it was as the debate was starting, so people were probably already I got out of Drexel at 9 on the dot.
Wait, I didn't understand why there was going to be traffic for the debate, because no one could go in and watch. It was just news people.
Well, yeah, because think all the. I guess that wouldn't cause too much of it, but
shout out them, dude. They were speaking to an empty auditorium. I would be so weird.
Yeah, that is true. But we can move on to Chris.
Biggest plummet today. Biggest plummet today is 9/11. Huge plummet.
Yeah. I mean, if we want to be optimistic, help the Phillies get a win.
We won the war, but at what cost?
Exactly. We lost a battle, 23 years ago. But we won the war because we got a Nick Castellanos home run today. Who's suck that, Al Qaeda? But we can move on to Chris for his summits and plummets.
I think my first summit is that my men's league started back on Monday, and we won by like 8, I think, or something like that. So yeah, shout out to us. Second summit is that I got my stream set back up for when I game and stuff. So that's cool. I tested out today. I got to figure out how to get my audio right and get my camera to work, but the stream works. And at first it was not working on my Xbox. So yes. And then the last summit, I did 3 summits. The last summit is Asia Wilson broke the single season scoring record today. So shout out to Asia Wilson. And I don't have any bad stuff, like no plummets or nothing, I don't think.
See, that's a great week right there.
Yeah, I don't think I've had nothing nothing that stands out like, oh, damn, that's horrible.
I made sure to follow you on Twitch from the podcast channel. So,
thank you. Thank you.
And then I commented real quick before I had to dip out because we were closing up at work. I was like psychopath who plays on broadcast.
Bro, I know. Oh, yeah. Maybe that's my plummet because everybody who said anything to me on my stream, in my game, anytime anybody talks to me, they always ask me, like, how do you play on broadcast? I'm like, bro.
Wait. Broadcast on Madden or 2K?
Oh, no. 2K.
I'm about to say, dude, you gotta be a different type of psychopath.
You gotta be a psychopath.
Madden broadcast, dude.
It will make me see. You can't see any corner routes. You can't see anything to the sideline. That is madness. I will only do kickoff returns on that. And still
on 2K, I have a friend who plays on broadcast, but
my height is really high too, though.
His claim is it helps me get better at defense. I'm like, dude, you're insane.
I will say this though. I think personally, you can see the court a little better on broadcast. Personally, I think you can see it a little better, and it doesn't do that weird turning thing. So like on defense, kind of like so when like I think this would help that you can play like the other side of the court if you're trying to work on like not getting those like cross passes and stuff like that. I think it works there, but I think Spy's been playing on this so long. I tried to play on 2K for like 2 years. I even tried like the drive camera where it's like you're like damn near on the court. I'm like, this sucks. So I just went back to broadcast. But
so there is like Turbo, which is like the main my career one. That was like that used to be my go-to. And then I like really likes 2K for whatever reason for my career. And then
everybody does.
Yeah. And then I won't be buying 2K until it's like $20 on Microsoft, but of course, whoa. But my brother, of course, has the game, and he's grinding,
waiting for it to be $25.
Fair enough.
That's the last Christmas present that I got, and I'm just gonna wait. I didn't use it, and I'm just waiting for something to hit the store for $25. Free game.
Dragon Ball Z game coming out soon enough.
I think Sparking Zero is not going to be $25.
That's what I'm saying. But what I'm going to do. I'm gonna use anything I can. I think I have like what's it called? The Game Pass. I get like 10% off, which isn't really anything but tax, but I can't wait for that to come out too. My bad.
Yeah, Sparking Zero. I think they're dropping another trailer tomorrow.
What is that? Like an open world Dragon Ball game?
It's gonna be the best Dragon Ball game like to date. They're gonna have.
I think you should just watch it, Danny.
Basically, it's basically putting the Dragon Ball multiverse like together.
Yeah.
But I think they're gonna drop like a. I'm hoping the series has something. I think they're going to drop a GT versus Super thing. For those who don't know, GT is basically the non-canon continuation of Dragon Ball Z. Super is the canon one. GT has cool designs, so people like to suck it off. And then Super, is like the actual continuation. But whatever the case may be, I mean, that you bringing that up might be one of my summits because I haven't. Obviously, last Dragon Ball game I bought was Xenoverse 2. So, and that's been, that's been being a strong soldier for some years. But another summit I have is we dropped Temple News dropped our first paper, first print issue of the school year. I guess technically second. And
Matt Story on the front cover. Say now.
I wish. But my story got back cover, if I could line this up right.
And back cover.
Got back cover. And if you personally ask me, if it came down to how these two teams are playing, Soccer isn't great, but they're certainly better than the football team.
That's not hard
let
to
me
do.
let me read you the headline for the football team. 1,746 days. It's the last time they got a conference road win. Ridiculous. They have not won a conference road game since November of 2019.
Well, they got to play Tulane. They're cooked. Eastern Carolina. They're cooked.
Yeah, they're gonna cook. We're about to play Coastal Carolina. They're not in our conference. They're gonna whoop us. You just let Army cover the spread. I don't know what to tell you. Fire Icy Vert.
They're about to do what Shannon Sharp was doing on Instagram Live.
Page was hacked. Not real. Didn't happen.
That was real. Listen to the voice. AI says it's real.
Nope. Page
It's hilarious.
hacked. Not real.
It's hilarious because Temple football posted something. It was like a picture of some kids with our mascot who it is like can't wait for the link to look like this. I'm like, dude, those poor kids. Those poor kids are Temple football fans. What? No.
At least you got a football team.
For me, I grew up, I always know Temple because two of my coaches went there. So I paid attention to the Reddick and, PJ Walker and Robbie Chosen era. But I was probably most of my Aggie fan era during then. But dude, you're growing up watching Forrest Brock, man. That must suck. You're growing up watching John Adams not get any touches, bro. Chris, I'd hate this coach.
Do you remember Ravens legend Tavon Young?
Temple legend.
One of my least favorite corners.
Temple legend.
I'm pretty sure Dion cooked him in college.
Nice. There's not a lot of people that if you were on a football team with Dion, you probably got cooked, man. I'm not gonna lie.
Chris, I'm not gonna lie. He probably should have made the league I don't
know about league. League's hard. You have to be like a different level of athlete, but he was certainly a great football player.
Yeah.
He's one. No, you might be right. You might be. No. Let me stop. You're probably right. He was probably going to the league. He was nice. So, funny enough, him and his brother were I'm pretty sure the first ever co-Ducko player of the years or something like that. His brother went to Carlton O'Hara. He went to Ridley. Dude, they were nuts.
Dion coached me in basketball when I was 7 years old.
No, I had to because that's when he brought Hams over, right?
Yeah, it was.
We had to have been older than that.
I was probably 8 or 9.
You're talking about the orange team, right?
Yeah, big.
Nah, you had to have been 13. You had to have been 13 because that was right after me and Hams went undefeated. We went undefeated for Crusaders.
I don't know how old I was, but
okay, Chris. Here's the most savage thing ever. So we're about 6-0 going into our homecoming weekend. We're playing Chester. Chester's, they're top dog, whatever case may be. And Coach Jeff was like, he was like, I want to get y'all some shirts that say, Crusaders on the front and it says still unbeaten on the back. And he's like, what do y'all think? Do you think we should order them? We're like, yeah, we're going to beat the brakes off these fools. Not only do we replace the senior team to get the last games considered prime time, so we replaced them. We beat Chester. And then we pop the shirts out and flex it to their sideline, bro. That was peak. I'm not going to lie. And then I ended up losing. I only ever lost one game with that shirt on as the underneath. It ended up being the lucky underneath shirt. We did end up losing a game though. On every single episode, you will see me wearing some kind of hat, whether it's a snapback, whether it's a dad style hat. I always got to have something to complete the outfit. And the only place where I get my hats is lids.com. Lids.com has so many different brands, and of course they have a bunch of different styles. Like I just said, it could be dad hat, snapback, it could be fitted, it could be Velcro back. Whatever you want, they got it. And with the NFL season coming up, I know you're going to want to rock and represent your favorite squad. Me personally, I'm a big Eagles guy, and I love this 47 brand throwback hat that I got from lids.com. Or if you're more of a snapback guy, I also got this NBA champions Boston Celtics new era cap from lids.com as well. If you like either of those hats and you feel like you want one to represent your squad, click the link in the description below. Whether it's new era or 47, both links will take you right to lids.com. And the best thing about Lids, they always have some type of deal going on their website. So make sure you click that link and check out any deals they got going on at lids.com. Not that year. It was the following year on a different team. But whatever the case may be, we can get into the overreactions.
Yeah.
I was say, did any of y'all want to start, or did you want me to start to kind of like?
You can start. You can take it.
Okay,
Take
yeah,
it.
I don't mind. So basically, a big overreaction that I've been seeing is did Canales make Baker or Baker make Canales type of thing, because obviously Bryce Young looked super rough. Baker Mayfield looked great. I want to slow that down a little bit. I do think Baker is back into a certain type of role or type of mode, I want to say. Consistently back in like that 16 or 14 to 20 range for quarterbacks. Just
I think he's
something.
I think he's closer to 10. I think he's like 12.
And you're wrong. I can name you 12 better right now. I can name you I can name you 16 better. I was trying to be nice saying 14, but
I like Baker Mayfield as a game manager. I think he's one of the elite game managers in the NFL.
right.
I'll take him over Brock Purdy.
Yeah, and you would be wrong. You'd be entirely wrong, because Baker doesn't have the brain to run a Kyle Shanahan system.
I think I'm not. Well, he doesn't have to. He runs the Buck system. So you can get back to your overreaction.
What I'm saying is that Purdy has the brain to run a Shanahan system. You fucking nut job.
He can run a system.
Back to my point. What Baker was finding success on, which a lot of mediocre quarterbacks find success on, is a good run game, setting it up with play action, which is where he found a lot of success. But it was against the Commanders secondary. Someone name one person in the Commanders secondary. Can't be Emmanuel Ford.
Oh, I don't know.
Because Cam Curl's gone, right?
Yep, he went to the Rams.
Nope, don't know anybody else.
Yeah, it's a good game of name the good players on the defense, or name anybody on the defense. You got Wagner and Louvu. Wagner,
Jeremy Chin's there. I didn't know Jeremy Chin was there.
That player. And then Wagner showed to the entire world how unbelievably washed he is. Been that way for some years, but it was on full display. World got to see Frankie Louvu better.
I'll take Bobby Wagner over Malik Harrison. I don't know if y'all.
Of course, Malik Harrison is the worst linebacker.
Malik Harrison is probably the worst starting linebacker in the NFL. He is so unbelievably bad.
Period in the NFL, bro. I'm not a football player. Y'all are, but I know for a fact I could have broke down and did a better tackle attempt than that, bro. That it was actually making me contemplate if I want to be a fan anymore. It was that bad. I was sick to my stomach.
That's pretty funny, but
yeah. The point I'm getting at is, for
Baker's run game, a lot of it came in garbage time. Like Bucky Irvine's 9 carries for 62 yards. A lot of it came in garbage time. So Rashad White actually got strapped. He had 15 carries for 32 yards. He actually did not have that great of a game. So a lot of the running backs yards came in down the stretch, which Baker was kind of slinging it early in the game, which I like to see.
Okay,
it's against the Commanders, so it means nothing.
2 points.
It's against a good team.
2 points. 1. What are you supposed to do in garbage time?
Run the ball.
Okay, so why are you saying that as if it's derogatory? You're supposed to run the clock out.
I think you're trying to say that a lot of his running game based off of his passing game came off the run. It's kind of like
it did, because what do? You still have to run the ball to set up play action. Whether it's successful or not, you have to keep them honest.
Yeah, I mean, you have to, yeah.
And a lot of his money came deep down the sideline, which is, always been a big asset of his game. Play action, hitting
elite
deep
arm
shots.
Elite arm talent.
A strong arm, for sure. But on the flip side of things, I don't think Dave Canales could not have pulled a tougher opponent. Well, he could have, but there's not many people he could have, had a tougher head coaching debut against. And there's no one Baker could have had a easier, post Canales debut against. Which I guess kind of leads into another one. Like, people are like, yeah, Bryce Young is just sucks. Bryce Young was horrible on Sunday against the Saints. The Saints are also one of the best defenses in the NFL. And on top, Bryce Young, on top of not being he was extremely inaccurate. I don't expect that to keep up. I'm not going to lie.
And if it does,
I think the Panthers. If it does,
Carolina, any quarterback from next class, because you got 2 years. 2 coaches.
If he does, if he does not show glimpses at the end of the second year, what the Panthers should do is like, let's not be the Bears. Let's not bring back this clearly bust of a quarterback, and let's go fix it. But,
you know what's about to happen? Bryce Young to Minnesota, and him and JJ McCarthy about to battle it out, and he's gonna beat JJ McCarthy out.
Oh man, no, I'm afraid that's following the Trey Lance career arc, and I don't really want that for my guy. But my point is that I think Bryce Young can still have a respectable year to where like, okay, we can build something with this. The Panthers are still going to suck. They're the worst team in football. Yes, even worse than the Giants, I believe, because a lot of the Giants being horrible kind of falls back on Daniel Jones wouldn't start at Chichester High School. But
He wouldn't
yeah,
start
I
at
just think
Temple High.
the Bucks
Temple
offense ain't
High.
gonna. I just think the Bucks offense isn't gonna be that hot this year, or it's gonna be a good offense, but they're not gonna keep doing what they're doing every single Sunday. What they just did to the Commanders.
I do
And
like
then
Godwin. I think Godwin's
Bryce Young's
there.
gonna going forward. He's gonna look a lot better.
I think Godwin's great still. I think McMillan's awesome. I think who was the Trey Palmer? I think they got weapons.
For sure. The weapons didn't go anywhere. They have a first ballot Hall of Famer in Mike Evans, Pro Bowl level guy in Chris Godwin. Even Cade Otton had one catch for 5 yards, but everyone knows he's also a good player.
Dude,
got a two-headed guy running back.
Mike Evans needs to be considered as one of the best wide receivers of all time. I'm not saying he's top 10. He's
first ballot Hall of Famer, and he's his franchise's GOAT.
Yep.
No other way to put it.
Yeah.
Got Johnny
Doug
Manziel
Martin.
drafted. That's pretty nuts if you ask me. But
Muscle Hamster has other things to say about this. Say no.
Shout out Muscle Hamster, man. I met Kyle Brandt today. Was like, or whatever his name is, was like, my hot take is that he's the franchise GOAT. I'm like, duh. Like,
I mean,
was it supposed to be Warren Sapp? Like,
could you argue Brady?
Brady, no.
I know he's not,
Brady.
but like you, I don't know.
Yeah, no. Well, it's almost like the DeMar Kawhi situation.
Something to say about that.
It's kind of like the DeMar Kawhi situation, except Mike Evans was on that team.
Yeah.
So he won a championship. It's not like you ship out Mike Evans, Brady comes in, and
Yeah, that's fair.
You know what I'm saying?
I have a very hot take, and probably very unexpected by you, and it is that my overreaction is that a lot of people are saying the Bengals are cooked. I think the Bengals will be fine.
Interesting.
They just played one of the best defenses in the NFL. I think the Patriots defense is top 5, with or without Barmore. I think Peppers is awesome. I think they have an elite corner who can rival Sauce Gardner as one of the best corners in the NFL, Christian Gonzalez, who missed his later half of his rookie year. I think that the Patriots offense, clearly it's not great. They put up 16 points. Should Drake maybe starting in the next few weeks when the Patriots lose a few games? Yes, he should. And I think the Patriots could do something special this year because of the defense. And if Drake May comes in and puts up any sort of yardage. And that's why I think the Patriots are in a very similar situation to the Steelers. And people don't want to speak about that. The defenses are so good and the offenses are just so obviously mediocre with little star talent. So it's you have to realize the Patriots are that good of a defense with Gerard Mayo, Bill Belichick. It's not even a disciple. He played under Belichick. So, and then Joe Burrow, his wrist might not look good. Like there's videos of him going around, not picking up a water bottle. It's okay. They said it's a rare wrist injury. He's going to take time to get surgery. I think he didn't play with T. Higgins. Mike Gesicki is an issue at tight end, though. I still think that they'll be okay. I don't think they're going to be great. Their defense didn't look good, but they'll be all right.
So, I'll say, Chris, actually, if you had any thoughts on that one, I'll let you go first. Because you actually said something on Twitter that I was gonna comment on so bad.
Yes, bro. He's average. He's average without elite players. He's very average, and I've been saying that.
I agree with you 100%.
Define average.
This thing though. You've only seen him with elite players, so I think I guess that's what you can say. He's not average off of that. But anytime he has to do anything without every single person he has, he doesn't do anything. or he doesn't win, or he doesn't do whatever that.
Chris,
the people think he
my
should.
my only issue is
My opinion.
look at every good quarterback in the NFL. They all have elite players around them.
Well,
Not
Mr.
Jamar Chase
Lamar.
elite and T Higgins elite and like
That's
those.
true.
And
He has upper echelon elite players, but every other player definitely. I mean,
Josh Allen.
There, look,
he
Right
has
now?
in his career.
Every-
he has in his career. Not right now, but he has.
well, Josh Allen had Diggs, but now here's the thing: it's like he's gonna be so fine without Diggs because he's been able to grow, and I guess with Burrow, okay, Burrow had the elite weapons, had the bad line. Lamar, for a big portion of his career, had a good line and
no weapons.
had Burger King workers at receiver.
Nah, come on, man. Hollywood Brown was a very, very
Hollywood Brown.
He had to use his
Hollywood
hands.
Brown had the worst time drops I've ever seen in my
He had
life.
to use his hands. That's
Like
what I'm
that, that's completely inexcusable. The
Very
way he
untimely
played
drops.
with Lamar was unacceptable.
Untimely drops, I agree. Zay Flowers is the best receiver that he's had, and that says a lot.
Speaks volume. And Zay Flowers is going to be a great player. I really like his game.
Yeah.
I agree
But
with you 100%.
let's be for real, he's not.
He's a yak god.
He ain't even Tyler Boyd. Like
Zay Flowers is like putting Tajay Spears a wide receiver.
But unfortunately, we run the Army offense. So
you know who's goated and needs neither of these things?
Who?
Mahomes.
DBBL. Oh.
Except the one time Mahomes played like a true behind true terrorism offensive line, he did get spanked. But like,
wait.
People at tackle had.
That is a all-time great Bucs defense, and his starting right tackle and left tackle got hurt before the game, and he was going against two of the best edge rushers of all time.
Which is where I was getting at before you cut me off. But
Devin White played the game of his life, so which he hasn't played since.
When Devin White was good.
Dude, he wasn't even great that year. He played the game of his life, and then he hasn't been able to crack that since.
Yeah. It's just like, okay.
He's a backup.
I think Burrow, with the Chiefs or with the Bengals offense, I agree. I think they'll be fine. The Patriots defense is really good. With Burrow, one thing I want to say, because average is a very strong word. Because I think the things, I don't want to be like a not his fault guy, which I entirely am, but I think he played a fine game. He could have got sacked a lot more times than he did, and it kind of doesn't help that the guy sitting outside who didn't want to practice all training camp because he was holding out for this new contract decides to pull up and get strapped by a dude in his like 6th career NFL game.
Well, I don't know.
Again,
the production outside of Jamar Chase was the real issue. Second leading receiver was Andre Yosevich. Shout out Princeton. I love the guy. I think he's going to have a decent NFL career. 3 catches, 26 yards.
I think average sounds worse than it is. When I say average, what I mean is you're starting quarterback in the NFL on the NFL team. That's not a backup, but it's not a journeyman. I think that's what Joe Burrow really is without elite weapons around. So what I think he's a little bit above that. What I'm saying is I think without that, because like think about it. Do you think Brock Purdy could do what Joe Burrow does if he had the same people around him?
No.
If he are you saying like if you dropped him in like this past Bengals Patriots game?
Yeah, like I'm saying like
because the offensive coordinator is a bozo.
Well, I'm player to player. Do you think that if you swap them, not offensive line, whatever it can be, just player to player, do you think you swap them? You think it'd be that much of a different story?
I think the Bengals.
No. It would be an entirely different story because what Burrow excels at is, which I think Purdy is a little bit lacking behind, is Burrow is an elite on timing. He's great escapability, which I mentioned, like he could have got sacked a lot more times than he did.
I think Purdy's solid
but
at that. I came around to see what his creation has gotten better.
His creation's gotten better almost by force, like Archie Manning. But
yeah,
that's what Burrow really excelled at. He is such a perfectionist freak at quarterback that the moment like Jamar Chase is taken out of the game, it's I was like, not to say he's a one read guy. That's far from it. But like Danny mentioned, you have a dude with a master's degree at receiver, and then you got Mike Gesicki, who's like his best years are probably behind him, if I had to say. And then you don't got T. T is the number one guy where like Burrow is like, you know what, I don't have to be perfect because I know T's gonna win this jump ball. Because T's one of the best in the league at it. So
All
I
I
think
know is T. Higgins, you are a Baltimore Raven after this year.
because the Bengals are pretty cheap. So
They can't do. They
I
might
think
not
the
pay
thing.
Chase. So
I think what might be Burrow doesn't have like a superhuman quality like Allen or Lamar or
And
he
that's
has.
my
or
thing. So how does
Mahomes.
he always get to be second without any superhuman quality? Because Patrick Mahomes is superhuman. We get that. Allen, Lamar, whoever you want to have, whoever else next, they have some type of superhuman quality.
I
So that's
think
why
it's the
I
same reason why Stroud is approaching top 5. Why people are so in love with Stroud is because these two are so freakishly precise. This is gonna sound so. A couple years ago, it might have even been a year ago. Dan Orlovsky was like, Mahomes is the best football player, but Burrow's the better quarterback, which that's absolutely ludicrous. Mahomes plays quarterback and he's better at quarterback than Burrow. But what he was trying to say is that like Burrow is this absolute like insanely accurate. I think he's thrown 70% completion percentage in 2 different years, which is like unheard of. He gets the
Let's be
ball
real.
out fast, which is an adaptation to like what his line situation is, which helped him develop that.
Joe
It's
Burrow
just
is the
that
Tom
he is
Brady
so
variant.
unbelievably good at a lot of different things, but he doesn't have Lamar's rushing. He doesn't have Josh Allen's we ball mentality, or no one's Patrick Mahomes. I'm not going to hold him to that. And he doesn't have like, Herbert rocket arm, but he's so good or great at a lot of different things.
Talk, can I ask you something?
Yeah, what's up?
What makes Burrow over Dak?
What makes Burrow over Dak?
Mhm.
The IQ. He doesn't turn the
Playoff
ball
success.
over as much as Dak does. Dak is a seam god though. But Burrow doesn't turn the ball over as much. He gets the ball out a lot faster. I think he processes the field a little bit better than Dak. Which this is a valid discussion to have. You're definitely not wrong for asking that,
I was just
especially
asking.
I
I'm
agree.
very,
That wasn't
very,
trying to
very
troll.
high
That
on
was
Dak
a good
Prescott.
ask. Yeah, I was just ask because
Yo,
I'm
he
freaking out.
It's
Joe
a fine,
Burrow
it's a fine conversation.
was 1 quarter away from having a ring. Remember that.
And
Joe
Patrick
Burrow?
Mahomes playing the worst 30 minutes of his life, too.
That is true. That is
If,
true.
if Patrick Mahomes
Here's
doesn't
the
play the
thing.
worst ever, it's not even close.
And here's the thing. You know what I think? Burrow's PR comes from that playoff run. You know where his PR really needs to come from? The following year. Because he had that playoff run and then he actually became an elite NFL quarterback. That playoff run was horrible. They almost lost to the Titans. They should have lost to the Titans. But Ryan Tannehill was just giving the ball away to that great Bengals defense, by the way.
Wait,
But
didn't they almost lose to the Raiders too?
they did. Yes. Burrow did not play that. He played fine.
I'll tell you
And
something.
I wasn't that big of a Burrow fan then because he just wasn't that good. Or he didn't play that good. He didn't play to what he had more nicknames by that point than like solid NFL playoff games. But the next years where he really like, started to assemble like this is an elite quarterback.
You talked about untimely drops for Hollywood Brown. Burrow had the most timely 3rd down pickups of his life. That drop, like that's what makes Burrow.
Yeah,
like,
his processing is on another level.
Chris, when it's like 3rd and long, he has this like weird gene. Like that's why I said he's Tom Brady variant. He picks up 3rd and longs at a really, really high rate, and he breaks the pocket and runs for 7 yards when it's 3rd and 6. It's that he does stuff that like you're like, damn, that sucked. Like as a defense, you're like, damn.
Yeah, like I don't want to like use it factor, but Burrow has a little bit of the gotta have it factor. But like, not to say these other dudes with superpowers don't,
Yeah, they do. They all do.
But
if you're top 5 quarterback in the NFL, top 6.
Yeah, healthy Burrow conversation for the first time in a while.
Yeah, I think that's more my thing. It's not even the fact I think he's like trash or anything. Like I said, when I say average, I'm thinking about like a starting quarterback, not a journeyman. But like my thing is, I just don't see what separates him so far away. Not saying he's not better than, but so far away from a Dak or so far away from the other guys who do, to me, what it looks like similar things. So that
I think that's fine. I think it's fine because
Well-
me personally, Dak, I think I have Dak as the 7th best quarterback, 8th best quarterback in football, really 7th. Wherever I have Hurts, I have him. Whatever order it may be. So I definitely think that's definitely a fine, valid argument. But we've been stuck on this one for so long, Chris. We have to ask you what your overreaction, or what do you think is an overreaction from week one? It's like y'all need to relax.
I'm gonna keep the one that's super casual, the Caleb Williams one. Obviously, I'm gonna keep that one. But the one I'm gonna say is the one with the Cardinals and Kyler Murray and Marvin Harrison. I've been seeing the factor where it's like Kyler Murray doesn't care to get the ball to him. Did you see his response? Did you see all these other things? It's like, bro, he knows he's his number one guy. He knows he's gonna give him the ball at some point. He knows he missed him. He's gonna get the ball. And then my thing is like, I think for rookie quarterback, rookie receiver, whether Caleb Williams, whether it be Marvin Harrison Jr., I think it's just they want it to be game one. They want everything to click game one. They want 100 yards game one. They want 10 catches game one. They want 300 yards, 3 touchdowns. And it's just like, bro, it's just not going to happen like that. So I think that's probably the week one overreaction I think is so far fetched to me that I think is just Kyler Murray's good enough quarterback to know that you have to get your playmakers the ball. He's been waiting on one like Marvin Harrison Jr. So I think that's probably the one that I'm going to roll with.
Yeah, I love that because did Victor Wembanyama put up 35 points in his rookie debut?
No, Summer League
38 on KD in like game 4 though.
Direct quote, Summer League, Wemby literally said, I
had no idea what I was doing out there. I honestly didn't know what I was doing.
I honestly didn't know what I was doing.
and not to say that basketball and football are like related in that aspect, but Victor Wembanyama was regarded as the prospect of this generation since LeBron.
The prospect of all time. Actually.
Yeah, like, and just to make a quick comparison, like Caleb Williams is probably the same thing. Like he has been hyped up since he took over for Spencer Rattler, which says a lot.
He definitely got the glaze. They definitely glaze for sure.
He has the glaze. He has the milk butter chicken. He got all of it, man. He got
milk butter,
he got all
the milk butter chicken. What is that even? Like milk? Like that's just I've never heard that
never
before.
Heard of it. There's a video. It's like milk butter chicken.
I think you're thinking of Coke butter cheese.
You think?
Yeah, I think you're thinking of Coke butter cheese. And that's like know. In that I don't. Okay, move on.
I don't know. Maybe I'll just combine like basketball terms, but. Yeah, I definitely just made up a new term from like basketball phrases. I combined 3 basketball phrases: milk, butter, and chicken.
Yeah, surprised you didn't add cookies to it, but I do agree, and that kind of goes for like any rookie quarterback or rookie receiver trying to get in sync with their said quarterback or receiver. Yeah, one of the overreactions I was thinking about is like, yeah, the Bears offense won't look like this all year. You know, they're going to be all right. It's fair to say Caleb Williams played like absolute shit, but
no turnover though.
Fine. Didn't turn the ball over. Did not turn the ball over, and he was actually he got the ball out the fastest of anybody in the NFL. 2.01 seconds.
Third down, he looked very, very. Some would say Mahomey. He's picking up those 3rd and longs. He's extending plays. He was he was there when they needed him. And also, he operated a drive to kill the clock.
Yeah.
I would say I don't care.
He can work on. He has to sustain drives better. There was one play, I think they had a first short field goal. He tried to get a little bit too Superman, which like, look, in his case, more often than not, fine, go ahead and do that. You got to recognize where you are though, you know? I'm not going to be the one that's like, oh, see, that's not going to work in the NFL. It's going to work in the NFL. He's Caleb Williams. Just recognize your situational awareness because there are times where they will get your ass on the ground. So, and then Kyler and Marv, I mean, I tweeted, I said, Kyler, my man, don't say that. He probably shouldn't have said that, but I'm not the NFL quarterback.
And they snipped a little quote too. They snipped the rest of what he said too.
About he's going to get Marv the ball. And Marv said, he's like, I respect their decision not play us on preseason. The most important thing is that we're healthy for now. But, he was like, we're going to get those reps. They're going to be okay. I like that one because a lot of people have Marvin Harrison on their fantasy teams and they were upset and whatever. But
Bro, I seen somebody say maybe they need to move Kyler Murray. I said I want you to delete your account.
That's what people talking about Bryce Young were like drafting undersized quarterback never worked. You see it in Arizona, it hasn't worked with Kyler. I'm like, what hasn't worked with Kyler? He's a 2-time Pro Bowl quarterback, and before his genius head coach got figured out, he was going to win the MVP.
11
So I don't necessarily know what hasn't worked out
yeah.
in Arizona. Every time he has at least the Pro Bowl level wide receiver, he's been absolutely amazing. So I don't know what the hell people are getting that. Kyler Murray got so good to a point they were serious, and I mean super serious, Lamar versus Kyler debates. And I was like, I'm gonna give the edge to Lamar simply because he's bigger. But Kyler is one of them ones, bro. It's just people don't like him because he doesn't spend 24 hours of the day grinding and making throws to his receivers. No, he has hobbies like YouTube and FaZe Clan. God forbid a dude has hobbies. Like, do you want your guy to succumb to football illness? Like, it's so weird. But people will be like, someone doing something with the family. Oh yeah, this is what it's all about. Oh no, I thought he was supposed to not have hobbies and just grind out this football stuff.
Yeah,
some dudes are like that, but we want to get to the not. Oh wait.
I think Caleb Williams might have the most annoying like post game interviews and speeches.
Why is that?
Like, I love his play, but sometimes he's just like unbearable to listen to sometimes.
What are you talking about? What does he even do?
For me, I don't know.
What does he do?
Something about the way he is.
Like how he's PR trained?
No, I mean, I'd rather someone like be honest with the media sometimes. Sometimes I feel like he just be.
So why does it got to be him? What the? So he is the one that has to be not PR trained. Trust. As a Jalen Hurts, Jason Tatum fan, you want your guy to be PR trained. My guys are PR trained.
Bro, Jalen Hurts is overly trained, dude. He speaks in
nobody is more PR trained than Jason Tatum. Like,
I didn't say
Hurts is close though. Hurts is close.
You couldn't get Jalen Hurts. The reason what separates them, Jalen Hurts knows he's got to give the media a banger though. You know what I mean?
Dude,
Tatum
Hurts
you could not get him to tell you anything. You could not get Tatum to tell you nothing.
Belichick clears.
No, Belichick, he's so we're on to Cincinnati. Like, he's so plain that it's something. Like, Tatum is just he's gonna get up there. He's like, yeah, man, as a team, we got to get better. Or, like the most breaking thing he's ever said is, yeah, they expect us to win every game by 25. It's just not going to happen. It's like, how dare you say that your team won't win every game by 25, even though I want you to lose every single game? Yeah.
But the thing about Jalen Hurts, though, he speaks in Pythagorean like theorem or so. Like he speaks like you're solving a math problem.
Yeah. That's my guy.
You have to process what he's saying when he's
Come on, bro. You hearing him, but you're not listening. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah. But let's get into these week 1 not overreactions. So basically, the way this works is in most scenarios, this would be, or like, this could be seen as an overreaction about literally 3 weeks from now. But we think these are things that'll probably stick. And I wanted to actually start with one that I think is pretty on topic to one of Danny's. So you said Bengals offense, that won't happen. Bengals defense, it's going to be one of the worst in the league. They got defensive line got absolutely mauled all game. Secondary's not strong. I think they brought back Von Bell, but that secondary is not strong whatsoever. Yeah, of course you can contain Jalen Polk and Jacoby Brissett, but your inability to get off the field against those guys. Ramondre Stevenson is one of the better backs in the league, but we have to be serious. Like, they're going to get pushed around all year. This is one of the.
Is he an elite back? Were the Patriots one of the teams?
He's not an elite back because I had him last year in fantasy and he was garbage. But
I know, but were the Patriots one of the teams that say we have one of the worst O lines in the NFL going into the camp?
Yeah,
I heard that.
Their offensive line is so bad they won't start their 3rd overall pick. They're like, Jacoby, you're going to go out there and die for the red, white, and blue. and he
So
said,
Tyrod Taylor comes in.
"Yes,
and,
sir."
And
But
pulls some devil magic.
yeah, but this is absolutely ridiculous. Like they were getting absolutely mauled all game. My worries with
Yeah.
the Bengals do not reside with Burrow in the offense. They're going to be fine. I think Burrow's wrist is going to be fine. I saw some clips at practice today. He was a lot better. I also rewatched the water. I can't believe I analyzed this, but the water bottle clip, I think it was fine. You know better than anybody. Chris knows too. Gatorade bottles, the condensation gets on the outside. It's slippery. Like,
Wait, I've done that a million times. That's why I didn't worry about it, dude.
I thought
flipped
you
it up in the
just
air.
said that his wrist injury is weird, like he can't pick up a water bottle or something. I thought you just were buying into the.
I said the wrist injury is weird, and I think that heard that like when you have a wrist injury, it gets sore, and it's gonna have some weird issues. But I saw on Twitter, I saw the video. I've done that so many times. Like I grab the water bottle and I pick it up, and it'll just like slide down my hand.
Yeah, because the water bottle is wet. But
that
defense
wet?
is
water wet?
Let's not get into this right now. I used to get in like near fist fights in high school over this argument.
I mean, is it or is it not?
Look, we're on to Cincinnati here. The defense, that's my not overreact. Like this defense is just gonna suck, man. Like it's gonna be a lot worse than I even initially thought. Because this isn't even the litmus test. It's like if they had a good game against the Patriots, I would be like, this is an overreaction. Let's see how they play out. No, they just got bullied by like one of the worst offensive line units in the NFL. This is entirely unacceptable.
Yeah, I'm gonna move on to something that people probably don't want to hear.
Let's move off the Bengals, please.
Not overreaction. The Packers have one of the worst secondaries in the NFL. Outside of Jair Alexander and Xavier McKinney, they stink.
Even Jair stinks.
Jair,
I'm kidding. I kid. There's no one who.
Jair's usually good. Nobody can cover AJ Brown. He also won on like double moves and just bully balled him. Who isn't AJ Brown bully balling? He probably bully balling
Christian Gonzalez, baller.
He probably would bully ball him.
Well, last year it was in the rain, but I digress.
Anyway, point is, I think the Packers secondary is one of the worser groups in the NFL, and I think that they just have decent secondary. I think they have a great coach that might put them in decent situations and game script, where they kind of going to be expecting pass, where you're going to be put this secondary to test without Jordan Love the next few weeks, because teams are going to pick on you. They're going to go take shots early, and they're not going to try to run the ball when you don't have a quarterback. And you'll slowly see Eric Stokes is not a good quarterback. Jair Alexander's a solid cornerback one. He used to be probably closer to elite. He's probably closer to solid now. And this team might quickly fall out of the playoff picture, like me and Chris have said.
Well, they're falling out the playoff picture.
It's
not due to something reason. You said. It's due because Love got hurt. Okay, you can't keep getting away with this. No,
it's for a different reason.
You're not getting away with this. You're not getting away.
You and Danny cooked. Do we know the future?
Wait, no, y'all aren't getting away with this. Y'all aren't.
Chris does have. He does set parlays at an unexpected rate. Is he from the future or not?
Okay. Ignoring the Love injury. To your point, I don't think the personnel is strong, who they have at corner, the other safety. I agree there. But I want to give them grace for two reasons. One, like you said, new coordinator. You're going to have to figure things out. They're going from a 3-4 to a 4-3, which obviously is going to affect your defender personnel all around with, who you're going to have at linebacker, who you're going to send to the box, things like that.
Shout out Edgar and Cooper, though, man. He balled out.
The second problem is you went against Kellen Moore, who is going to give you motion sickness. He's going to try to motion you every single. And I guess a relative thing is that, and I don't want to use this excuse, a lot of NFL offenses look the same. But if you go back, watch Eagles tape from last year, that's not going to help you. And Devontae Smith lined up in the slot about like 60% of the game. Last year, he lined up at the slot like 30% of the time total. So it's just a whole bunch of different. You're dealing with a new coordinator on your end. You're dealing with a new coordinator on their end. Of course, you're familiar with Kellen Moore. Are you familiar with Kellen Moore when he has AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, Saquon Barkley, and of course Jalen Hurts at quarterback, with this offensive line where you thought you'd be able to pick on the right side interior with Becton and Jurgens, and they turned out to be the two best things of the night. So I don't think you're wrong in terms of like who they actually have back there. I just think I'm willing to give them grace because they went against eventual Super Bowl champions, the Philadelphia Eagles.
No, I agree. I'm willing to give them a lot of grace. And how the tides have turned on your Philadelphia Eagles as you feel about them. Because of a Zach Bond performance. Who would have thought that Zach Bond, I told you he was solid, man.
You said he was solid. You didn't say he was a sack, 5 tackles, couple tackles for like. You didn't say he was that good, but
okay, maybe I still think he's just a solid player. I think he had a great game, but I think he'll.
Dude, if he plays half as good as he did all throughout the year in that game, we're gonna be perfectly fine. And if Jalen Hurts would stop throwing it to the other football team, I'd really appreciate it.
I don't think his picks were as bad as people think.
The first one was horrible. First one is completely. First one was unacceptable. Second one is still not a good throw. Like on the all 22, it's like, oh yeah, Brown's open, but you throw a lollipop. Like you have to strike it to. You have to absolutely bullet to him, and you probably should have saw him a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
And he just should have run it. It's not a situation where you need to throw up a 50-50 ball with this type of field. It just wasn't good. And then he almost threw a pick 6.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. Why did they throw a 4 verts from their own 5-yard line when he threw the first pick?
Look, man, I don't know. That whole first 3 drives or the first 2 drives, they're non-existent in my brain because after that, Saquon Barkley changed my frontal lobe. He helped me develop my entire brain.
That was like you're on Madden on rookie mode, and you're like, we need early touchdowns. Let's just go run 4 verts from the 5-yard line.
Yeah, it wasn't smart. Yeah, was not good football. Saquon slipped on his first carry as an Eagle. It wasn't great stuff. But once they got into between about the 5-minute mark left in the first quarter and the 5-minute mark left in the fourth quarter, that Jalen Hurts was absolutely unreal. Yeah, I thought he played a great game. Now, when you adjust those extra 15 minutes of football, he was one of the worst quarterbacks this week. But despite that, 2 touchdown passes, absolutely insane, incredible throws to Smith, huge third down conversions, did his thing. But I don't think I'm ever getting my mobile king ever again. He's officially just Dak Prescott now. He just needs to learn how to throw the seam ball.
Dude, he doesn't know how to put his head down and run. He tries to juke someone out inside the tackle.
He picked up one of the biggest third downs of the game by putting his head down. He drugged 2 defenders 5 yards.
Maybe not doesn't know how. Doesn't do it consistently.
There's no reason to it. Like 1st and 10, you run a read option. Yeah, there's no reason he's going to try to run over Rashawn Gary. But we're getting insanely off topic.
It's week 1. It's just talk about Eagles Packers. He does need to. I would like to see him throughout the year take more risk with the read option. You're a mobile quarterback. You have to be a mobile quarterback. And you're not entirely, but like
I'll give him grace on sliding, running about things. The field was horrible. I think when he saw Saquon slip, it's kind of like, oh, if this dude can't get footing, then no one is.
Yeah,
and Jalen Hurts is known for getting freaky. So
for sure,
we can move to Chris. Chris, what's not an overreaction? What's sticking from day one? What is absolutely happening this year?
Bro, I had like 3. But I think I'm gonna go with.
You can say. I actually had another one I want to go to. So if you have several, by all means.
The first one I'm gonna say is the Ravens' offensive line is going to get better. It's not going to. It's not. Like people, I'm sorry that they said that it's not going to get better. I think it is going to get better.
Okay,
that's my thing, and I think it's going to get better not by Mark Andrews playing left tackle. No, I just think continuity is going to help, hopefully. And the only problem is I think that we have a couple other linemen, that we can maybe step in want to see more Rosengarten. I want to see more Voorhees. I just want to see more of the young guys that we've been supposedly waiting on now that Moses is gone and now that Ronnie Stanley's 87 years old and his leg is 97 years old. So just trying to see that. I think it'll get better over time. And I think what Lamar did in game one is what he's going to have to do this year more. Just be kind of what Daniel's talking about, just be more mobile, even than he was already. I know that sounds crazy, but I don't mind seeing him run for 100 yards. Maybe not every game, but bro, like if they can't block or can't hold it for long enough, don't try to make them do it and throw this BS 2-yard pass Justice Hill for 4 yards. Like go take off and run. And I think that's what's going to make the line better. In reality, him being his Louisville type of self and them actually running the ball with Derrick Henry. And I think that's one thing why they didn't run it as much, because they couldn't block as well. Like Derrick Henry wasn't getting off. He got the touchdown, yes, but I don't think he was getting off. He got a couple big runs because he's Derrick Henry, but I think at the end of the day, I think the line will get better over time just with repetition and hopefully continuity and hopefully bringing in those younger guys, like I said, Voorhees and Rosengarten for sure. I think that was the one I remember for that. And I have the one more. The one more was that JF want to know is the Steelers quarterback. I don't think that's an overreaction.
Doesn't take much, does it?
Hey, but look, JF want to know. That's my guy. And the reason I say that is because, and it's less because of how he played. Obviously, he didn't go ridiculous. He didn't play crazy. But what I saw when I watched the game, it really looked like the offense liked him being out there. Not saying they didn't like everybody else, but it seemed like they were playing for him in a sense. Like, in a sense, they wanted him to do well. Not because they don't want Russell Wilson to play, but even seeing him hook up with George Pickens a couple of times, seeing him pick up a couple of runs, a couple of dump offs to the tight end, it just looked like they had continuity. Speaking of continuity, it looked like they were cool working together. I'm not saying it was crazy, but I do think for what they have right now in place and what's out there available, I think JF1 NO is the quarterback moving forward.
Dare I say, it reminds me of the way the Eagles had Hurts and Carson Wentz back in 2020 when they had a starting quarterback that everyone has seen play before. They know what the sample size is. They bring in the new guy, and he has flashy plays. He's clearly has some like upside to him, and the players look like they're playing for him. So I'm with that, Chris. I think that the Steelers definitely rallied around that, and yes, he has things to clean up. Yes, he can target the middle of the field more. Has Russ struggled throughout his career targeting the middle of the field? Yes. So it's not like Russ is going to solve the issues that Fields hasn't.
And that's the only thing I want to say is like I said, I don't think he played an elite game or carried the team or anything crazy like that. But I think he did enough as a game manager. Another word that was mentioned earlier. I think he managed the game well enough to get a W. And with the defense like the Steelers have, that's damn near all you really got to do. And I think Justin Fields can do that.
That's what you see the Niners do. They score touchdowns and they don't kick field goals though. But hey, when they played the Jets, they kicked a lot of field goals. Very similar. They said
shout out Jake Moody.
Yeah, like it's very similar. Putting points on the board is points are points, and at the end of the day, you want to capitalize and finish those drives. But we've seen playoff games won off field goals by Mike Tomlin and Devil Magic, of course. But you have seen it happen before. Tony doesn't like this. He despises it. We've seen it.
You just compared rookie Jalen Hurts to year 4 Justin Fields.
Not even player to player, just flash.
He's trying. No, because what he said was your starter. Oh, you've seen him. You've seen the sample size,
Dude,
whatever. And then you talk about the new guy. I've watched Justin Fields play for 3 years. The kid isn't good. There is no
plan.
Oh, Justin Fields. I'll tell you this right now. He would throw for how many? Caleb Williams throw for 98. If he had Odunze, Keenan Allen, and DJ Moore and DeAndre Swift, I know he would throw for 98 yards. I know.
Odunze had an MCL sprain.
He did, but I know if he would have had those players, he would have thrown for 98 yards too. And probably ran for more.
Didn't know Justin Fields is replacing Herbert as a hypothetical, man. Good thing to know my man's Herbert got that name off his back.
That comparison was just the concept of a plan. It's okay.
Right, I'm so sure.
JF want to know, man.
No, Fields has plenty of. We know who he is. We know who he is.
He has plenty of concepts.
He's not rookie Jalen Hurts. I would say rookie Jalen Hurts is better than current Justin Fields, by the way. But
maybe year 5 Jalen Hurts isn't who we thought he was, or year whatever this is. Maybe he's a merchant.
I would take Jalen Hurts at Oklahoma over Justin Fields right now.
Maybe he's a merchant. I'm starting the agenda now. Agenda's getting started. It's getting started. I'm starting the agenda. It's a,
Yo, wait.
Jalen Hurts has
like,
never needed any player at any
Chris,
point in his career.
Chris, I'm not with
Ever.
that.
He's
Jalen
won
Hurts
games.
is-
He's won games where he's thrown. He threw 3 picks against the Giants. I remember this. He was still in the ball game. He was hitting Jalen Reagor on the face mask. He just couldn't catch it. He thought if that's anybody else on that team in this situation, he wins. I watched him
Chris
last year against the Colts. We're playing the worst game ever. You did not hear AJ Brown or Devontae Smith's name called once. That was a game-winning touchdown or game-tying touchdown to Quez Watkins. He can make it work with anybody. He just happens to have his best friend and former Alabama teammate at receivers.
He had read option for the win, right?
That was for the win.
Draw.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep,
the draw
was
or
for the
option.
win.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm trolling, but if JF1 gets to JF 2-0, I'll be back.
Oh my god.
I'll be back again. Don't you worry. Come on, TJ Watt.
Okay. This one's off script, not overreaction. The Falcons fucking stink.
I was about to say that. That was my other one. The Kirk Cousins.
They're not good, and Kirk looks so bad.
I think he's scared of putting that Achilles.
Beautiful thing.
He don't trust it yet at all. He don't trust it for sure. But
beautiful thing that they drafted a very solid quarterback behind Kirk Cousins.
They drafted an 87-year-old who is also injury prone. But hey, at this point, like, yo, Kirk puts up another one of these games. Hey, let's start talking.
Bro, like, did y'all see them videos where like he was trying to step back? It looked like he was stepping on something hard with like how gingerly he was putting his foot down. It looked crazy. Like, he really couldn't like drive the ball to anybody. I've never.
He looked like post Achilles Clay, man.
Chill. That Clay still shot 38% from. Actually, Clay came back and Sneaky had a better handle. I will say.
Yeah,
but what's really better?
He wasn't better.
Hey, look.
You're from a 66 to a 68.
Pre-injury Clay, the handles can only go up. That brother could not put the ball on the deck unless it was a quick one dribble, get my feet right. But the Falcons one was impromptu.
You get what I'm saying.
The Steelers, because it's a rare situation where your backup quarterback actually took all the 1 reps all camp, and he probably has more juice going with Pickens and Freiermuth and Najee in the gang. So. Yeah,
let's speak about it.
I'm of course going to agree with you guys that he should be the guy going forward. And another thing, on the ground, he looked extremely comfortable. Awesome. If the second read wasn't there, take off. My legs are the most dangerous weapon on the field. Either side.
He had the early jitters. For sure.
Yeah, I will say his legs.
He tried to do too much early.
He steps on the field. His legs are going to be one of the most dangerous assets against anybody. And between two teams, his legs are going to be up there. So I like that he's trusting it a little more. I wish Arthur Smith could go to a little bit more like read option stuff. But of course I get it.
Kick it out against the Falcons.
Which I get it. Your starter was already out with the calf. The last thing you want to do is send in Texas A&M Kyle Allen. So I get
it. But I will say, I think it's not an overreaction that the Falcons have an elite defense.
Jesse Bates. I'm not even going to put it on Fields that he didn't attack the middle of the field. I wouldn't either. I would not do that either.
Not just Bates. Justin Simmons is one of the best safeties in the league at the age of 30. Like,
I think Bates might be the.
Yeah, I mean he's arguably the best safety.
He just eliminates.
Look, making throws that resulting in 0 turnovers when you're playing those two safeties is very hard to do. Mm-hmm. And he did it. Yep. So I'm going to give Fields props for that. And that defense, Judon was a good pickup. We both watched a rep of Darnell Washington. Wow, he looked like a left tackle. Like,
yeah, he's a really good block inside him. He really is. He is what Mark Andrews thinks he is, apparently.
Come on, man. Mark. Okay, another not overreaction. Actually, this is an overreaction. Sorry. Mark Andrews will be okay.
Left tackle 1.
You guys both don't like this. He's going to be okay.
No, it's likely season.
Rate. He had the he had the highest double team rate of his career. It's
and shut him down. So what are teams going to do? Are they going to go double team likely? They're not going to double team likely, man. It's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen.
Double team Zay Flowers.
Oh, so sure. Another one, I think Daniel will like this one personally. Actually, you both like this one. Chris is a Ravens fan. Browns are doomed. It's over. They're cooked.
For sure.
Browns are cooked.
Jameis on the way.
Not only Jameis is gonna come and he's gonna be he's gonna start. He's gonna be fun.
Is Temple Legend still there?
PJ's not there now. No, PJ's not there. Unfortunately.
Where's he at?
Packers.
Deshaun Watson unfortunately got zapped of all his powers because of being a freak. So he got zapped.
super fortunately. Very fortunately.
Not unfortunately for him. Fortunately for him. And
this is divine intervention. God said you will not be good at quarterback anymore.
It's like he literally forgot how to play. It's like all terrible things he's done aside, even if you can even do that, like just player to player, he looks really bad. Like he just looks like a bad football player.
He's horrible.
So crazy.
He's absolutely.
He was so good at Houston.
He had one throw to Amari Cooper that did go through his hand. It was like deep down the sideline. It was an absolute dot. Outside of that, bad player. Absolutely horrific game. What was once one of his best strengths, his pocket awareness, was magnificent in Houston. Now, he might as well be a 6'4" Bryce Young. Every time he cannot handle a pocket that is not absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
Not saying the offensive line in Cleveland is, the strongest either, and the run game wasn't getting going, but dude, you're making $230 million. I don't give a shit. So
yeah, I don't know. You're not.
And also, he apparently touched another woman. So
he's not a top 32 quarterback.
Mm-mm.
Not no reaction.
No, he's Daniel Jones territory for sure.
No. Kenny Pickett is better than this man. I'm kidding. He's not.
I'll take Pickett because he doesn't touch women, but oh man, they're both bad.
Yeah.
At least Pickett is aggressive.
He is good.
Pickett's not afraid to make mistakes.
He is actually. He never threw the ball downfield.
That's how y'all beat the Ravens. Why are you just lying?
Dude, and Matt Canada wasn't happy. It was so funny.
Well, he couldn't throw the ball downfield because name your vertical weapon.
Deontay Johnson and George Pickens. I don't know.
Deontay's not a vertical weapon.
Yeah, he's underneath God. But yeah, for sure.
Yep.
We're talking about PJ Walker. Do you remember he's a part of the funniest moment in NFL history?
Yeah, where he threw the Hail Mary, got caught, and then DJ Moore took his helmet off, so they bumped back the field goal, and he missed the field goal.
It's so funny.
That's one of the greatest throws I've ever seen in my life, by the way.
Walk-off Hail Mary, one of the greatest throws of all time. DJ Moore got the penalty, dude.
And the kicker missed the field goal. It's just tough.
Brownie points if you can remember who the kicker was.
Was not coming to me. Graham Gano?
Eddie Pinheiro.
I have no clue who that is. I did have one more not overreaction. Did y'all have any more? Or can I just get this off?
All you.
Okay. The Chargers, hardball ball, I think it's here to stay. I was so impressed with Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa this weekend. Not like they were going up against a pair of bad tackles either, but I think they're
not great.
No, I can't. The name slipping me. Whoever I think it's their right tackle. He's a good player.
He's right solid, tackle. Yeah.
Right tackle for the is a good player, like one of the better tackles in the league. The other one, I wouldn't be able to, Regardless, my point is that Khalil Mack looks absolutely explosive off the line. Looks about as strong as he's looked since the Chicago days. Joey Bosa had a great game. He was getting pressures. And then on the other side of the ball, the run game, while the first half didn't look great yards per carry wise, the second half is where they really started to break down Crosby and crew. And Dobbins needs to unhook the trailer. He's slow as hell, but he had two huge runs to get the Chargers in the red zone. The second one was to essentially ice the game, where they got to that third down in the red zone, throw it to McConkey, make two people miss, and he scores. But this is something that I think these two things I think are entirely sustainable under Harbaugh. I think he knows that he has some good personnel on the defense, and he's going to put it to use. He knows he has a pair of running backs that Dobbins when you look at yards per carry on his career, EPA per carry, things that define efficiency, he's a really good running back. When you look at the totals, it's not going to add up because he's never healthy. But
did I cook when I said Quentin Johnston will be relevant again because of Harbaugh?
You never said that.
I said he'll be relevant again. I mean, it's indirectly.
No, you didn't.
Harbaugh.
No, you didn't.
I did.
You'd have to find it. And first of all, you're already backtracking. You said I didn't say it was directly because of Harbaugh. And he had 3 catches for 39 yards. If that's a resurgence, then because their pass game was horrible because nobody can get open. Where Quentin Johnston will find his role is obviously Yak, but he's not wide receiver 1 on the offense. Probably not wide receiver 2 either.
Probably not.
But Herbert, he had the one throw where he tried to layer it to Palmer, and Johnston was open, leading to the interception. But otherwise, I thought he played a great game. Avoided some sacks. Joe Alt, delete. I'm
gonna ask you one question: do the Chargers make the playoffs?
Yeah, why not? Let's stamp it. They're going to the postseason because these two style of play, like those two things, are just so run game, defensive line pressure. Those will probably be the most consistent on a week to week basis. And then, like the pass game, we have Justin Herbert. We'll figure that out later. But for now, we're gonna keep Dobbins and Edwards consistent on the ground. Bosa, Mack, they're gonna do their things on the edge, create absolute havoc. It is the Raiders.
You know what it reminds me of? It really reminds me of what Mike Vrabel brought to the Titans.
Exactly. Strong defensive line to make up for a weaker back end. Weaker, at least in the good Titan days. You're Derrick Henry. And it's like, you know what? Tannehill, you don't got to make a play every single time. Now imagine you throw in one of the 4 best quarterbacks in football. Herbert, you don't got to be a superhero. But when we're calling upon you, make the plays. Herbert's going to make the plays.
Efficient Josh Allen. Come on, dude. Please make plays.
I think he's like Josh Allen with like Aaron Rodgers' brain, because Aaron Rodgers is like Kevin Durant in a way where he doesn't want to mess up his efficiency. But like Herbert is still an absolute gunslinger. Like he's gonna take those chances, those layered throws. He had to throw the Palmer that was absolutely beautiful. He put it like slightly behind him so he didn't get his head torn off by Marcus Epps. Dropped it, got to catch it. Like you just got to have it. But
you see, Rodgers checked into Garrett Wilson into an inbreaker last night, and
I saw that. He was like, "That was a terrible," but
Chris, they were running double ins from the right side. And then
I think it was a post behind it too. Like
it was run in. It was on the right side. It was in and a post. On the left side, the slot was already running a 5-yard in, and he told Garrett Wilson to run a 10-yard in behind that already. He said, "I'm not gonna lie." He goes, "The concept's trash, but it's Garrett Wilson, so he got open."
But I was watching that Aaron Rodgers, watching him behind the line. Like while I was watching with my girl, I was like, just look at how he just controls the line. She was watching the Ravens game. We was like, why do we get so many false starts? I'm like, well, because we're running the Army's offense. But I was watching, watch us run. I was like, watch Aaron Rodgers run off. She's like, he keeps pointing to his head. Like his poise is the reason I like Aaron Rodgers. Just as a quarterback, he always seems to just get his guys where they need to go and get them in the things they need to be constantly to be in.
Something I noticed.
Ball knowledge.
Something I noticed with the Jets. So when a quarterback goes like this, only he does that.
What is that?
The whole offense.
That's all I'm about to say. They all did it. So
I was like, I've never seen. I don't know. Maybe I haven't been watching football long enough. I don't know. I've never seen everybody do that. Maybe the receiver if he's just talking to him, but whole line. Obviously, center can't do it. But
I'm gonna tell you from my perspective, and my knowledge of football, I think they're doing it to confirm that they got it.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
And then the coaches are going to try to hold them liable, if they're not paying attention. After the game.
Of course. But
I think it's a coach
Chargers going to playoffs confirmed.
Confirmed from Sideline Summit. The hot take is
and Herbert only put up 150 some yards, a touchdown and a pick, but he wins. So now he is quarterback 2 in our league. Because he's a winner. Because he wins. He wins the gritty ones. What can I say?
Look,
He wins games.
He wins games.
Unlike Burrow, Burrow's not a winner, and his stats suck.
Jacoby Brissett is a winner.
He's a winner. He's top 5. He's top 5.
That means Justin Fields
clears that fraud in Baltimore.
Justin Fields, winner.
Best quarterback on the East Coast.
JF 1-0, greater than Burrow, IDK.
He's a winner. What can I say? No, the other day, Danny said, I don't know. He's a winner. I was like, dude, his career record is 11-28.
Lamar Jackson has stopped doing one thing for me, though. Just one thing. And it's this. I've had this problem since Louisville because I was one of the only people who's really a Lamar Jackson Louisville fan early. When he has the ball in the pocket and he feels like he has somebody open, he has to stop holding it like a sandwich, like this, because it gets knocked out every time. Because he'll try to throw it like this, and bro gets knocked out every time. I just want him to stop doing that right there. And I want John Harbaugh fired if he doesn't start running the ball with Derrick Henry. I do. I said it. I do. I think they'll get that figured out if you ask me. They better.
But,
they better.
Yeah, that was pretty much everything. Do we have anything to say before we get on out of this one?
No, I think that the NFL weekend will be great. Tony, you don't have anything to worry about all weekend because the Eagles play on Monday night.
Yes, I do. I'd much rather watch Sunday football with the W already tucked than my team plays tomorrow. Damn. Like, getting the win on Friday and then not really sit back. I was at work, but, sit back, watch everybody struggle on Sunday. It was fun. I'm definitely investing in YouTube TV. Heard it's great. Danny has it. Says it's great.
We got it too. It's fire.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I got to get it. Got to get it.
And Devontae Adams, you are a Baltimore Raven. I seen what you said in your question today when they asked you a question about Lamar. I'm talking to my people and get it
done. Chris, unfortunately, he's a Pittsburgh Steeler.
You already have a wide receiver one. His name is George Pickens. We don't have one. So, unfortunately, no.
It's so fun watching other teams have these issues because we have good receivers now.
Y'all got damn near 2 wide receiver ones low key.
Devontae Smith is so good. Like, I can't praise him enough, man.
Devontae Adams,
literally one of my favorite football players.
Devontae Adams, George Pickens immediately becomes a top 3 group in the NFL.
Hey, why is Brandon Cooks always
open
in the back of the end zone for the Cowboys? Why is he always open?
Because he's fired.
Oh, Brandon Cooks?
Brandon Cooks is a legend.
He's back there is always open. I just look up like,
man, Oregon State legend.
Whole career legend.
Yeah, but Danny, you're not getting away with that. Smith and Pickens would not be a top 3 duo. Not letting you get away with that.
Devontae Adams and George Pickens? Oh, you said Devontae Adams.
No, George Pickens and Devontae Smith.
Oh, no, Devontae Adams. Devontae Adams.
That's what I'm saying. We're talking about Devontae Adams. Yeah.
Maybe.
Ooh, let's see.
Chase and T, and then Reek and Waddle, and then Brown and Smith. So, yeah, there's 3.
Diggs and Nico? What about that?
No.
Or is it... No, actually, no. Diggs and Nico I'm willing to talk about because Nico Collins is one of them ones. He's greatness personified. He didn't score, awesome. But he's him.
If Keenan wasn't fat, would it be DJ Moore and Keenan?
I mean, Keenan's a little slow these days, and he's fat.
Are you ready for
fat?
He's fat. Are you ready for the Stephon Diggs being a goal line touchdown merchant incoming?
I love it,
dude. Come on, Diggs had a good game. He looked a little rejuvenated. He's not better than Nico Collins though.
Hell no, he's the receiver on the team. I'll take Tank Dell over.
No, come on, stop. It's clear as day from this just first week that Dell's going to be wide receiver 3. I think that was pretty obvious. Diggs looks really nice in this offense with Kubiak. Yeah, we will see.
With that being said, we'll catch you next week. Same time.
This is why you don't do the outro. And it's not the same time because Lord knows we're probably going to record on Tuesday next week. So, thank you guys for tuning in. Again, if you're watching this on YouTube, leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new. If you're listening to this on audio platforms, leave a like, 5-star review, download the episode if you really enjoyed it. From AP New Freezer, Culture by Migos, and DC Comics. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll catch you guys this week. And Justin Herbert's getting the MVP this year.